Now, Hogan's opinion of how to formulate the right hand revolved around the idea that the middle two fingers were the more important of all of them, and that they would be hooked around, firmly around the club, and butted up against the forefinger of the left hand. Now, that would lead one to have to dispose of the little finger in some way. And he advocated, as did most golfers, throughout most of the last 100 years, the Varden grip or overlapping grip, where the little finger actually either rested on top of that knuckle, a little rarer, or actually hooked around that knuckle in the groove between the second and the first fingers of the left hand. That's called the Varden grip, named after a very famous golfer from the Isle of Jersey who won 6 British Opens and, if I'm not mistaken, a US Open. Wonderful golfer at the end of the 19th century. So the middle two fingers were principal, but it's interesting that he sort of implied that the forefinger and thumb were not quite important, but at the same time he went out of his way to demonstrate how that should connect with the golf club. And what he wanted was the inside of the knuckle of the forefinger, the palm side, should feel like it's pressing against the side of the club. And of course, forming a V with the thumb and a stick, which in his case, he thought should be going straight up the club, what is a little ambiguously called a weaker grip. So he thought that the right forefinger and thumb actually did do something, but he advocated the middle two fingers being more important. Now, interestingly, he was changing what was the conventional wisdom somewhat, because other books from the 50s, like Ernest Jones's very famous book, Swing the Clubhead, and How to Play Your Best Golf All the Time by Tommy Armour, they were quite emphatic about the idea that the forefinger and thumb of both hands, but in Tommy Armour's case, the right hand, would be the more important of all of them, and that they should form a grip in such a way that, as he put it, you could lash the ball with it. So the forefinger and thumb was important to those authors, a little less so for Ben Hogan.